We're back again out here at 400 Monroe, Wayne County Treasurer's Office, and we still have the same crisis here in Detroit, and we are demanding an indefinite moratorium on property tax foreclosures.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael Steinberg. I am the legal director for the American Civil Liberties Union of Michigan. This is the first time that we have joined with activists on the ground that have been working in the streets to stop tax foreclosures. And in fact, an hour ago, we sent a letter to the Wayne County Treasurer with over 15 organizations, community groups, and individuals. We are calling on the Wayne County Treasurer to institute an immediate moratorium on all tax foreclosures of occupied homes in the city of Detroit. And we're doing that for 3 reasons. Number 1, it's unconscionable. Number 2, it's irrational. And number 3, the tax foreclosures on occupied homes violates the law. It's unconscionable because our government is going to be kicking people out of their homes they've lived in generations, at a rate that is unsurpassed. These foreclosures are illegal and they violate the constitutional rights of homeowners in the city. The ACLU is very excited to join with you and to stop this illegal, irrational, and unconscionable foreclosure crisis. Thank you.
Let's be clear. The only solution that the Wayne County Treasurer has put forward to try to put a Band-Aid on this issue is to rush everybody into payment plans. But we had the same experience with the water shutoffs last year. Out of 24,000 people that were put in payment plans on their water bills, all but 300 are now delinquent again and facing shutoff once again. We call for not just a moratorium on tax foreclosures, but a moratorium on these water shutoffs as well, until a real solution to the issues that can be placed. There's one more issue, and I'm amazed that the media hasn't followed this issue. $251 million of Helping Hardest Hit funds are sitting in Lansing right now. These funds are supposed to be earmarked for keeping people in their homes. From the bank bailout, the $700 billion bank bailout. But instead of using these funds to pay off delinquent property tax bills for helping hardest hit homeowners, such as the poor of Detroit, these funds are now being used for blight removal instead. That's crazy. Funds that are supposed to keep people in their homes are being used to tear down their homes instead. We say the banks are responsible for the massive mortgage and predatory fraud that was perpetrated on the people. They must be made to pay for blight removal. Just today, 2 banks, one of them RBS, Citizens Bank, was found guilty of massive mortgage fraud in a trial of New York. Who is RBS? That's a bank that's a forecloser in Detroit. And just to say what kind of justice the people who are facing foreclosure are facing, when they face foreclosure, they appear in front of Judge Colombo. Judge Colombo, who has his mortgage with RBS, who sanctioned a lawyer for fighting RBS, he's the one deciding on people's tax foreclosures. We say RBS, Bank of America, Chase, and all the banksters must be made to pay for blight removal. They owe us to rebuild our city. Deserve. Fight the banksters, fight the government. Moratorium now.
Make the banks pay! Make the banks pay! Make the banks pay!
Make the banks pay! Would you want to put more people out of their homes? Why would you want to devastate more neighborhoods? Why would intentionally you want to create more blight? This does not help, and there are monies available. But there are some people that want the blight. They want wholesale destruction of whole neighborhoods, especially in the city of Detroit. You know, like in my neighborhood, I walk around and there's countless abandoned houses. There's countless houses that, you know, that need action. But what do? They walk past houses that need to be torn down. They walk past houses that need to be attention, and they go to and actively seek out houses that people live in. I mean, that's just wrong on every level.
Refuse to take action in regard to imposing a moratorium on foreclosures. We've been demanding this now for the last 8 years. No action has been taken. This entire problem could have been resolved, but it was not resolved. So that is the real issue, and that's why we are here at the Wayne County Treasurer's Office demanding that they extend this moratorium indefinitely until this problem can be resolved.
We first got involved with the foreclosure fight when we discovered in our neighborhood association group that we had approximately 30% of our homes facing tax foreclosure this year, and we got another 30% next year. That equates to about 700 homes in total. So when you start looking at a neighborhood that has managed to keep itself together based on the efforts of 80-year-olds and 90-year-olds and 70-year-olds who have managed to keep our association intact since 1958, you start to wonder what that would do to our nice, safe, well-rounded, very well manicured neighborhood in the west side of Detroit. Whoa, how does that create a safe neighborhood if we're about to drop a bomb of 300 homes right in the middle of it? So when we started investigating this, what we found out is that most of the neighborhoods, not only surrounding us, but throughout Detroit, are facing the same problem. System that has literally broke down for these people, and they can't get the help, even though they clearly qualify for the help. We had to stand up and fight. So Russell Woods is there with Moratorium Now, Detroit Eviction Defense, and anybody else that wants to join this fight, because it is totally egregious that we're going to sit here and let people get kicked out. People are going to be homeless. Our seniors, our veterans are going to be homeless as a result of them not processing and doing what they're supposed to do. Now, either we can stand back and watch them and just let them run all over us, or we can get out in the streets and we can start forging alliances with every community, all of our neighbors. Not one person is not going to be affected by this. So we need to stand up. We need to fight now. Moratorium now. That's all I got to say. Thank you so much for your support.
The mayor of the city loves to pat himself on the back about many issues, such as, I'm reassessing the taxes. But what about all the years of overtaxation that have put people in the hole, put them in a situation where they're losing their homes, lost their homes during the last auction? The thousands of people who are going to lose their homes this year. The 9,000 some people are left are the people that can't afford to get into a payment plan. And when you talk about the people up here like to pat themselves on the back about their payment plans. Now, how can you pat yourself on the back when you give a person a plan to pay taxes that they shouldn't even owe, to pay interest that they shouldn't even owe? How can you pat yourself on the back for that? Mr. Szymanski wants to pat himself on the back about Step Forward. Oh, we helped 5,000 people since 2013. That's fine, but you have this $251 million that you need to help thousands of more. People like Ms. West, who should have been eligible for Step Forward. People like the Brinkleys that should have been helped by Step Forward. Didn't do shit about nothing. Excuse my language. We didn't do anything about that to bask in the glory of the savior of Detroit while they throw thousands of people out of their home, while they cut the water off of thousands of people, while they murder our youth in the streets and jail them. That all this stuff has got to stop. And the only way it's going to stop is when we organize in our communities together, join with our force, join our churches, our unions, whatever it takes, and force them to be helped, be strong, and stand up to fight back.
All right, let's stand up and fight back. Stand up, fight back, stand up. Fight Devon Jones.
Emergency. My soul is in a state of emergency. There are all kinds of emergencies going on in Detroit. We have bailed out the city through the bankruptcy. We have bailed out the auto industries. We're giving tax credits to billionaires, but we will not help the people. There's something wrong with this. There's a serious emergency going on in Detroit. My soul is groaning for the people of Detroit. The people of Detroit deserve a moratorium. The people of Detroit deserve a bailout. We need to help the everyday people. We have helped everybody else in this city but the people. Let's help the people. Detroit deserves a moratorium today. Let's not put anyone else Detroit. Thank you. My soul is in a state of emergency.
All right.
And we agree it is a state of emergency. They said there was an exaggeration in one of the editorials for one of the local newspapers. When we said it was a state of emergency, they said no, there's no state of emergency. But we think there is a state of emergency. Anytime over 100,000 people are facing potential homelessness, that is really a state of emergency.
Testing, testing.
Hello. I'm very sad because I'm watching my city, the city I was born and raised in, is being taken over by greedy people. Detroit is not for greedy people. It's for all the people. People are losing their homes in America, in Detroit. People are getting their water turned off. People need water to live. People are being pushed out into the streets and they cannot take care of themselves. They don't have jobs. What is happening? This is wrong happening. This is wrong. We need everybody to stand up against this bullying. Don't be afraid. Stand up and fight back.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, this fight continues because the fact there's an outright attack against the poor and the blacks in the city of Detroit, taking their homes away, leaving them homeless, no place to go. We've had enough with the rich getting richer and taking over the city of Detroit. We all align together to fight against this. This thousands of people are being affected by that. And we're the voice for the people. They might not be here standing with us, but we are out here fighting the fight against these outright attacks against the people here in the city of Detroit, cutting their waters off. And it's not just happening in Detroit, it's across the country and the world, an outright attack against the poor, the people who cannot fight for themselves. So,
Thank you. I'm part of the social justice team of the United Church of Christ that meets at the Shrine of the Black Madonna, that many of you know that long term has been standing up for human rights. And we believe that sometimes we need to pray with our feet. That is, we can't stand by and watch the ills that are happening in our society to innocent people without standing up for them, because we believe we need to be the hands and voice and feet of Christ. And it doesn't do any good to push people out of their homes, whether it be for water shutoffs or tax foreclosures, because it just perpetuates the cycle of homelessness. And that's what we believe our church is all about, what Christianity is about. To stand up for those who cannot always speak for themselves. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Give a special thanks to the ACLU, especially to Mike Steinberg and to Linda Jordan from ACLU for putting together this tremendous statement on behalf of all the groups, calling on a moratorium that's being delivered to Raymond Roach, whatever his name is today, the treasurer. And it's wonderful to see many organizations coming together. We're going to bring out the people. We're going to stop these foreclosures. We're going to stop the shut city back. Thanks everybody for coming out today.
Moratorium now!
Moratorium now!
Moratorium now! Moratorium now!
Some short-term relief for thousands of homeowners facing tax foreclosure. Wayne County is giving them more time to pay up after protesters hit the streets.
That's why we're out here today, and we are demanding an indefinite moratorium on property tax foreclosure.
The ACLU and other protesters outside the Wayne County Treasurer's office in Detroit. More than 9,000 homes were reportedly slated for tax foreclosure today, but now those homeowners have until June 8th to pay their taxes or work out a payment plan. Still, some say it doesn't address the underlying problems.
People should not be required to pay more than they're legally obligated to do. And the problem is that the government has overtaxed people in the city of Detroit based on overinflated property values for year after year after year.
The ACLU is demanding that tax bills be adjusted to make them more fair to reflect current property values.